Welcome to the Finding the Magic podcast, where books come alive. I'm Tricia Copeland, a fiction author and host of this show. If you love books, finding great reads, and hearing about the story behind the story directly from the authors, this is the place for you. Whether you like fantasy, science fiction, dystopian, or romance titles, I think you'll find something to love in my playlist. Listen in to discover something magical about a book or two today.
And Melanie, I hear you have a holiday romance.
Yes, I have a series of holiday romances that they feature three cousins. So each book, there's three books. Each book is about one of the cousins. The first book starts out with the Tia, the one cousin. She finds her boyfriend's cheating on her and she needs a break, and she decides to leave and go to a family cabin. And while she's on the way to the cabin in a storm, she crashes and she gets amnesia. And so she doesn't remember anything. And she's rescued by a doctor who takes her in and tries to help her. And they kind of fall in love. And then her cousins come to find out that she's missing. And they come out, but she doesn't even remember them. So they stay with her for a while. And then the second book is about the male cousin. They all work at the same company, so they're all VPs at the family company. And the male cousin, he has some personal issues with his longtime girlfriend. And so the second book is also at Christmas time, and it kind of picks up the story. It overlaps with the first story during the same time frame, with some things that are going on with his girlfriend. I can't go into it a lot because I don't want to give it away. And then the third one is the third cousin, and she runs into an old boyfriend that they broke up in college, and it was kind of, she doesn't really know why. And that picks up her story with her boyfriend. They run into each other, and she's hesitant to interact with him because of what happened in college. And so it kind of covers the same time frame, but it covers what's going on in the different uh, each cousin's life at that time during the Christmas season.
Oh, fun. Yeah, I love those interconnected stories because you kind of get to continue and see what happens to the couple maybe after, you know, after the proposal or after they kind of get together. So you get to continue a little bit with, but then having a new story, right? Um, those are super
Those
fun.
are all three of those are completed. They're all available in ebook, and you can get them, wherever books are sold. But and I actually did combine those into one box set too, so you can just get the box set as well.
Oh, fun. Those sound great for holiday reads, and we will be super excited. I will make sure and have all your links on so everybody can find them.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here today. We have Melanie P. Smith, author of several different genres. I'm so impressed. Paranormal, police procedural, which we will jump into because I don't know the definition of, and romance. So you hit almost everything I love. So why don't we start? My first love is fantasy, so we'll start there. Artifice is the second novel in the Immortals trilogy. Tell us about the series, the book, the characters. I want to know everything.
So my Immortals series is it's based on Greek mythology. So it's a fantasy, basically a romantic. What it, the genres they change so much. So I call it a fantasy romance because there is a love interest, but it's based on Greek mythology, kind of like an adult version of a Percy Jackson, where the characters are descendants of the gods. So you have like descendants of Zeus and Poseidon and and then they're coming together to fight against the Titans.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed it said the tagline for Artifice was like 6 immortals have to come together to create a bond to defeat the evil, which I didn't know what the evil was.
Yeah, so Artifice is actually the second book in the series. The first book is Divergence. So in Divergence, the 6 immortals come together. Some of them know that they have powers, some of them do not, some of them are in denial. And so they all have to come together in the first book. And then Artifice is where they are kind of converged at a lake house where they're now undergoing training, but while they're trying to train, because they know there's a prophecy that a war will be coming and they're going to have to fight against the Titans. So they have this prophecy that their parents all prepared them for. So, like, there's a siren, and she learned it as a song. Where there's a Wiccan, where she learned it as kind of a charm. So they all learned it in a different way, a fairy tale, a charm, a song, but they all learned the prophecy. So they kind of know that they have to come together, they have to learn to train together, and then they're going to have this final battle. And so the second book is the training. They're coming together, they're trying to train, trying to learn their gifts, expand on their gifts, figure out how to work together. And all the while, they have the Titans that are trying to do an end run to the battle and kill them off before they get to the battle so that they will win.
Right. Interesting. And you said it's an adult book, so the characters are adult ages. Is it set in current, like contemporary time, or is it more of a epical feel? So
it's set in contemporary time.
okay.
So I didn't have to do a whole lot of world building because they live in our world. They're
Right.
just a secret from humans. So
Well, it sounds like you built out a lot around each type of immortal. Like there's different types, like the sirens and the Wiccan. And did it have to be one? Did they have to be all different types of immortals, or that wasn't I guess, in the prophecy?
yes, in the prophecy. So the prophecy talks about a siren, a shifter,
Okay.
a master of water. So that is a descendant of Poseidon. And so they're different. They have different skills.
Neat. Yeah, in my finale of my Fae fantasy, I just did a kind of shouldn't give too much away. Anyway, it required 12 different paranormal type beings to complete this task. I'll just say without giving too much away. But so I researched a lot of paranormal creatures, so definitely into all of those things. So do you have those books in audiobook too, or is they just ebook and paperback?
The Divergence, the first one, is in audiobook.
Okay.
I have not gotten the second one in audiobook yet, but it will be in
Oh,
audiobook.
fun.
Right now, I have my narrator working on my police procedurals, so I'm trying to get those in audiobook. And so when she completes, she's doing season 6 of my police procedural, and then when she gets done with that, then I'll do Artifice in audiobook.
Fun. Okay, so that's a great segue to talk about police procedural because I'm not sure I've ever read this genre. So tell me all about it.
So the best way to describe a police procedural is think of TV series like a Blue Bloods or an NCIS.
Okay.
Those types, Bones is one that was popular. Those are all police procedurals. And so I actually started my Page Carter series as a blog on my website. I was doing one episode a month to try to draw traffic to my website. And the initial plan was just to leave it on my website and everybody would have to go to my website and read it. But when I got the first season done, I had a lot of people ask, are you going to put this into a book that I can just read it in one book? And so I ended up doing that. So one season is 9 episodes.
Okay.
And so it's like a police procedural on TV where they solve a crime in every episode, but it's the same characters going from episode to episode throughout the series.
Right. Oh, cool. Yeah,
Does that help?
that puts me right where I need to be. And my favorite police procedural, hopefully you'll consider it that, is iZombie because it has zombies and the police stuff. So
Right. Yeah. So they're pretty popular on TV, and that's why I thought, well, I'll just do that on my website because maybe that'll draw people. And it actually did, but then I ran into this. When are you going to put it out so I can just buy it and have it on my e-reader and read it when I want to? And so I ended up doing that and did the whole thing. And I'm finishing up. The final season is going to be the 7th season. So I'm finishing. I have 2 episodes left of that. And then that series is finished. And my narrator is working on the audiobook for season 6. So that will also be in audiobook as well as ebook and paperback. And then it just, as authors, we get busy, and it just became too much to try to write an episode every single month by the time you write it, edit it, get it up there. And then it's kind of gotten to where that's all I'm writing, and I want to write, I like the fantasy. I've got to finish my Immortals series, and I've got some other series I'm working on. So it just felt like it was time to put that one to rest and move on to some other stuff that I want to complete.
I was gonna say that was gonna be my next question. Like, how did you decide to end the series? Like, did it make sense in the characters' lives, or I guess it sounds like more like you made it make sense in the characters' lives.
Yeah. So due to time constraints on my life, I decided it was time to finish it. Plus, writing one episode a month, it's in a small town, and so I had to come up with a new crime every time. And it just started to get hard to, what's a new crime? I think of one, and well, I've already done one of those. So you can only repeat so many times before they're just the same. So it just really made sense that this is coming to an end, that it's so time consuming. It was hard to come up with new crimes that I haven't done yet, new storylines. The characters are in a place in their life that it makes sense to make a change. And so everything just kind of all came together, and I decided it's time to put that one to rest.
Fun. And I'm assuming Paige Carter is the main character in this show, is that, or sort of like show?
Yeah, she is. So she came from a small town. I live in Utah, so I picked a small town in Utah and had her come from there. And when she was a senior in high school, her mom was murdered, and she left, and she ended up becoming an FBI agent that specialized in forensic investigations. And then she just finally decided she was going to go home and solve her mom's cold case because it had never been solved. And so she decided to quit the FBI, moved back home to this small town. She got a job as a local deputy there. And while she's working and solving the crimes on the job, in the background, she was trying to solve her mom's murder.
Okay. Well, yeah, that sounds like you have a very rich storyline there. Is it written from like her point of view, or is it from a third person point of view?
It's from a third person point of view.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's actually called I think they call it an omnipotent point of view, because things are happening, and so you're seeing things from the point of view of different characters. But she is the main character. It's
Right.
her series.
Yeah, now I think they call it like third person close, where you're mainly just seeing sort of from that one person, but other things. And then you have omnipotent, which is like, everything. So, yeah. I kind of get like stage fright. Not, what is it called? Like, I don't like things that surprise me in books, so I can't watch horror movies because like I don't like the jump and awe type thing. So when somebody's about to die in a murder mystery, I'm like, no, I can't look. And how do you said you wrote one of them a month. I've only talked to one other author who wrote one book a month, but she had like a legion, like 12 people there to help, like 12 editors and or copy editors or formatters and all those things to help her produce one book a month. And I was in awe of that. So all she did was write, and then but she got like a full-length novel out every month, and I was like, okay, I think I would go crazy if I had to do that. But
they're episodes, so they're not full-length novels. I don't
right.
know how you would ever do a full-length novel in 1 month. That would
Yeah, no, I she had a whole spreadsheet system and all of this stuff that would, yeah, I would be overwhelmed. So kudos to her though.
Yeah.
And that
So that one's coming to an end, and then I will kind of, along the same lines, I decided I'm going to do a new series. It's called Quinn McCord series, and she is a police detective, a homicide detective in San Francisco. So I'll still be writing. I worked at our local sheriff's office for 26 years, and so I know kind of the police. It's kind of a natural fit for me. So I'll continue to write the police stories. It's just that's going to be a lot easier because I'll do full-length novels, as maybe one a year or something, but it's not going to be so um, time consuming because it's not like you can just say, oh, I'm going to skip this month.
yeah.
Expecting it. So.
Right. Well, you already answered my next question. Like, how did you get into writing these police stories? So that was.
Yeah, so that's my background. And so it's kind of a natural fit. Those are actually the easiest ones for me to do. I just have to figure out what crime am I going to write, and then it's easy to do the police procedurals. The more challenging one, like the Immortal series, I did a lot of research on that one because I wanted there are so many mythological creatures like the chupacabras and the hellhounds, and I wanted it to krakens. I wanted them to be realistic. So even though it's fantasy, I still wanted the characters in there that everybody would recognize and kind of relate to. And so I tried to do research to find maybe some of the least known ones to bring those in there, but I still stuck mainly to characters that already existed.
Okay. And do you have the third book in the works now?
I do. Yes.
Okay.
So I'm working on the third one. It's some life things happened and it's been set back, but I am working on the third one. I have several books in the works at any given time. So I'm finishing up my Page Carter series. I'm working on the third book in my Immortal series. I have another just contemporary romance that I have the first book almost finished on that one. That will be another trilogy. And then I have another series that is a criminal suspense series that I have 4 books out in that one, and I'm working on the 5th book in that series.
And what is the name of that series?
That is my Thin Blue Line series.
Thin Blue Line. Okay, thank you. That's so interesting that you can work on all these different genres at the same time.
Yeah, I think it helps. Like authors talk about having writing block, but I think it helps me so I don't, because if I can't go somewhere on one series, I can think about another series. So I've never suffered with writing block because I have so many things going on. There's always something that I can pick up.
Right. Oh, that's fun. And yeah, I never thought about it that way. I do write in multiple genres too, but I write one at a time. And then after I write one of my fantasies that, put my characters through hell and back, then I have to write a fun romance to clean my palette of all these horrible things I do to my characters. So and I've never tried to write 2 at a time, and because I'm always so obsessed with what these characters are doing. and making sure I'm staying right to the character and right to the plot and thinking about what I just wrote and is it right, and thinking about what I'm going to write next. Do you outline all your books out, or you more have a beginning, end point, and make up in between?
So my very first series, it's my Warrior series, and that is a paranormal romance. It has fae and vampires and shifters. And when because I am a very organized person, I always have been. So when I very first started, I decided I was going to do this, for a career. I thought, well, I'm so organized that I'm going to have to plot it out and do, chart it out and organize it. And I started doing that. And my characters just said, nope, I'm not doing that. And they went in a completely different way. And so I just decided, I guess I'm a pantser and I'm just going to sit down and write. And I don't really plot anything out. I'll make notes if it's a series so that I can make sure that it's consistent. I don't say somebody lived in Texas one time and Colorado another time, but that's the extent of my charting stuff out. I just make notes and then refer to my notes when I get to that point again. And I tell people I write because it justifies all those voices in my head. So my characters just tell me where they want to go and I just go there.
Fun. And when you read, what is your favorite genre, or what do you feel like has influenced your writing?
I like a lot of genres. I like when I was growing up, I, really young, liked the Nancy Drew, Hardy Boys stuff, and then Agatha Christie and John Grisham. So I like the criminal suspense kind of thing, the mysteries. But I'm also, I really like the paranormal. Lindsay Sands' Arsenault series I don't know if you've ever heard of that one. It's a vampire series. She has a lot of comedy in it. Like one of her books, her vampire faints when she sees blood. So, I like those fun kind of paranormal books. So I read a lot of different kind of stuff.
Well, obviously you like writing different books, so it makes sense that you liked reading different kinds. So then you decided you could write all these different kinds, and with the criminal background, that fit even better. Not the criminal background. We won't say you have a criminal background. That's the opposite.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, sorry. Well, thank you, Melanie, so much for being here. Let everyone know where we can find you and your books.
So you can find me on my website at melaniepsmith.com, and my books are pretty much anywhere you buy books. Like I said, many of them are in audiobook. I have the first 3 of my Thin Blue Line in audiobook, and there's 5 of my Paige Carter seasons. I'm working on the 6th one in audiobook, and then Divergence of the Immortals is in audio. So Audible, iTunes, Spotify, all of those. And then anywhere you buy ebooks, Amazon, Kobo, iTunes, Barnes & Noble.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I love audio, so I always ask that question.
Yeah, me too. I listen to a lot of audiobooks.
Fun. Well, we will definitely have you back, because I can't wait to hear about the finale to the Immortals, because hopefully by then I'll be all caught up.
So yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was fun.
Of course. And take care, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Finding the Magic podcast. I'm your host, author and podcaster Tricia Copeland, and I love getting behind the scenes. If you like the podcast, make sure to subscribe and stop in each week to discover new authors and books. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep finding the magic.